Hi, I'm Dwayne Bryant, and I'm the new athletic director here at Bishop Ireton High School. I was born and raised in New Orleans, 5 older brothers, two sisters, one younger, one older. And sports was always a big part of our family. Growing up in the Fisher Projects, there wasn't a whole lot to do. So sports was always a big part of our family, especially being the youngest boy of 6. So I always followed my brothers around and watched them play sports and got into organized sports when I was 7 years old. Football and basketball were the 2 sports that I took to right away. At 7 years old, I was playing on teams with guys who were 2-3 years older than I was because, again, having older brothers, you learn pretty quickly that you got to be tough and be able to get through this. And then as the time went on, I realized that I was pretty good at, especially basketball. Football was my #1 sport. But in high school, I broke my thumb and couldn't play football anymore and focused on basketball. Had a pretty good youth experience playing AAU basketball. Was one of those few teams that get the opportunity to win a national championship in AAU basketball when we were about 13, 14 years old. Went on to become the #1 player in the state of Louisiana my junior and senior year. Got an opportunity to be a McDonald's All-American where I was the 5th ranked player in the country and the #1 point guard in the country in 1986 and had multiple scholarship offers from the top schools in the country, Duke, North Carolina, Villanova, Georgetown, you name it. And eventually settled on going to Georgetown University where I played my college basketball and started there for 4 years. I had an opportunity to go to the San Antonio Spurs and try out, but decided to go over to South America and Europe to play a little basketball professionally. Enjoyed that for a while and then ultimately decided that I wanted to get into education. Got my degree in English from Georgetown and always wanted to teach. Had 2 very great mentor teachers at my high school, De La Salle High School in New Orleans, that were English teachers and really kind of developed the love for that particular field for me. And after graduation and after finishing my career playing, I moved to Dayton, Ohio, where I went to the University of Dayton to get my teaching certificate. And there begins my career in education, spanning now 26 years. Got into coaching because I felt that was a way I can continue to do something in a meaningful way that I love, which was being around the game of basketball. And at the same time, being able to help young men and women to kind of learn the game, love the game, but more importantly, hopefully give some direction to them in their lives. I'm fortunate because no one would have ever thought that I'd be sitting here today based on where I grew up. And I've been fortunate through sports to have an opportunity to do things that most people don't get the opportunity to do. Attend Georgetown University, attend De La Salle High School, which is a terrific Catholic high school in New Orleans. Have an opportunity to go try out for an NBA basketball team. Have an opportunity to go to South America and Europe and play professionally. But what's unique about the DMV is the culture, the people, the history. Wanted the opportunity to move back to the DMV, and I couldn't think of a better place to do it than Bishop Ireton. Ireton has so much possibility and so much to look forward to in terms of building the athletic programs, especially being in a talent-rich place like Alexandria, Virginia. So I find myself in a position that has kind of rejuvenated me in a huge way to be back here in the area, but also to be here at BI where there's so much hunger for winning programs, and the community has been unbelievable about taking that next step. I think it's important because it builds community. As a student, you want to be able to have a school that you attend where there's a community that supports the student athletes, which in turn gives the student athletes that motivation to be able to go out there and perform at their best. Obviously, you need to have talent, you need to have the right people, but it has to be the talent that fits the school's profile. If you can't bring in kids who are not ready to accept the educational and the spiritual part of what the school has to offer, in particular if you're at a religious-based school. Being a Catholic school here at BI, as we try to grow our athletic programs here, we got to make sure that we're bringing in the kids who fit the school's profile, who want to be at a strong academic school, who wants to be at a faith-based school that believes strongly in their faith. And we got to make sure that we're finding kids that can go out in the community and represent the school in a way that will want more kids to attend the school, both as an athlete and as a person. That character goes a long way, in particular when you're talking about athletics. We've all seen these athletes who do things and make mistakes and continue to make mistakes. And if we can get that under control now, while they're in high school, to impart those lessons on them, I think that goes a long way in building your program. Because at the end of the day, your student athletes, your biggest advocates. And if they're happy, if they're successful, if the coaches are coaching and teaching and building relationships, that's the biggest advocate we can have for building an athletic program, is having those families go out and promote us. It is to build a winning program. To be quite frank and down to the bottom line, it is to build a winning program. And that's my ultimate goal, is to have Bishop Ireton be seen as one of those schools that's competing every year for a WCAC championship. That we are seen as a school who's well respected academically, socially, for our arts, for our college placement, but also for the student athletes that we put on a field or on a court to compete every day. And that's my ultimate goal, is for Bishop Ireton to earn the reputation that I think it should have as a school that not only provides a tremendous education, but also as a place that athletes in Alexandria, Virginia, but also in the wider DMV could come to and know that they can compete with any school in this area on any given day. So that's my ultimate goal for Bishop Ireton Athletics.